Guess what? I have 5 PowerPoint slide templates that I want to give to you for absolutely free. Each and every slide is fully customizable to your needs. Whether you're presenting to your boss, your professor, your colleague, your employees, or your mother-in-law, you can use these 5 slides in any way that you'd like. And to get them, you only have to do just one thing. Click on the first link on the YouTube description and sign up to the SlideCow mailing list. Your welcome email will consist of a download link with these slides. Thank you and enjoy. Welcome back to SlideCow's Design a Good Slide series. We're on episode 3 and today's topic is based on Tinder. Yes, the dating app. I know what you're thinking, but hear me out. I promise you'll be pleasantly surprised. For those of you who are not familiar with Tinder, here's the breakdown. Tinder is a free mobile dating app that is extremely easy to use. You download the app, link it to your Facebook profile, choose 6 photos of yourself, and then write a brief bio. Once you're done, the app then shows you photos of singles based on your preferences. You simply swipe left if you don't like them, or swipe right if you do like them. If someone you like also swipes right on your photo, the app immediately informs you it's a match and urges you to begin chatting with your match. Okay, so you might be asking why the hell SlideCow is bringing up Tinder. So get this, around 3 days ago, a man named Niket Biswas wanted to stand up from the crowd. He actually turned his Tinder profile into, drumroll, an epic PowerPoint style presentation. Seriously, and you know what? It actually worked. He states that he's gotten 10 times more matches overall from generally smarter, edgier people than he did before. So you might be asking, where does SlideCow fit in this exactly? Alright, here it is. I loved the idea that Niket has taken. It's extremely innovative and stood out from the crowd, which follows SlideCow's philosophy exactly, to be innovative, to be creative, and to be engaging. There was only one problem. His slides could use a little bit of design work, and I was determined to make that happen. So get this, I reached out to Niket and I asked him if I could redesign his slides and feature him in today's episode. What's even better, he said yes. So join me in making Niket's slides and or Tinder profile amusing. But before we do that, we have to set the mood for now. After all, this is more of a romantic love kind of thing, which means no more ukulele music. Let's change it up. Nope. Nah. No. There we go. All right, let's get started. The first slide, why you should swipe right. All right, so first things first, it's important for you guys to notice that all of these images over here are actually squarish images, right? They have an aspect ratio that looks like a square, and there's a reason for that. Tinder is an app on a phone, and the way that these pictures are highlighted or broadcasted or positioned or shown or whatever are through square images, like images that hold an aspect ratio of somewhat like a square, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to actually have to reflect that when we're redesigning these slides. So we're going to head over to design, and then we're going to head over to slide size and change it to the standard 4:3 ratio, which gives us that square image, right? Just like this. All right, so let's take a look at the image provided over here for the first slide. Now I understand Niket was going for a somewhat cheesy, businessy, funny sort of memo, but Niket, come on, man, you're a great guy. You should come off strong, right? You should come off as, hello, I'm Niket, and this is why you should swipe right. Enough of that jazz. Let's just move that over here. I'm going to be focusing on 2 main things in this slide, which is your picture, this one over here, as well as the title, why you should swipe right. All right, so first things first, I'm going to bring in the image and I'm going to move it to the left over here. I'm going to blow it up and I'm going to crop it into the slide by heading over to format, crop, and I'm just going to move these little black bars into the white spaces of the slide, just like that. All right, that looks perfect. Now, the reason why I wanted his face, right, to be all over this slide is because it's all about Niket. It's all about him. It's all about that smile that I'm gonna take you. We're gonna ride on horses in the sunset. I'm gonna give you flowers and throw chocolates at your face. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's all about him. That's what's important. I'm gonna save the right side of this image for his text, right? And the reason why we're going to save it for text is because that helps us identify who he is. But we're going to follow the theme somewhat. We're going to keep it cash. We're going to keep it funny-ish. We're going to keep it a bit cheesy. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type in a hello over here. So I'm going to go into insert. I'm going to head over to text box. I'm going to draw the text box like this. I'm just going to type in hello. I'm going to center that text over here. I'm going to make it white, and I'm going to change the font to Gotham Ultra. I'm also going to change the font size to around 72 points. Now, forget about positioning for now. We'll fix all that up later, I promise. So we have our hello. The next stage for us is to bring in who this man is, right? And that's Niket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Control Shift, drag this downwards, and type in I'm Niket, period. And I'm going to increase the width of this somewhat, just like this. I'm also going to decrease the size to around 55 points. And I think, yep, that looks fine. The last thing we have to do with the text now is to bring in our component to this slide, which is why the person should swipe right. And what we're going to do is we're going to press on Control Shift, drag this downwards like before, just type in a very straightforward message. And I'm here to tell you why you should swipe right. I'm going to change the font size of this to around 33 points. And I think what we're also going to do is we're going to start to move these to the left a bit, just to make sure that there's space all across the board. And just to make sure that we do have space all across the board, I'm just going to move my alignment tool to the left over here, 1240, 1240, and we can also do that vertically, so 920, 920. By the way, to do that, just hold Control and move these lines wherever you'd like. All right, so now I just want to add that extra level of flair to this slide, that extra level of flair. How do I do that? Well, I want to add a curved arrow under the word right over here with a finger icon moving towards the right, which reinforces the message of the person swiping right. And it's all about reinforcement here. It's all about keeping it simple, keeping it clean, keeping it casual, but reinforcing that theme over and over and over again. And to do that, I'm just gonna head over to Insert, I'm gonna head over to Shapes, and then I'm gonna click on this shape right over here, which is Circle Hollow. When I'm drawing it out, I'm gonna make sure that its width is quite long, but the height is quite short. Something that looks like this, right? Yep, that looks fine. I'm gonna move it just underneath the word right, and I'm also going to reposition this yellow circle to the left somewhat to make this a bit thinner, something like this. Now I really want that curve shape, so I'm just gonna go and reposition it as best as I can to make sure that I get the best out of the curve shape that I can. All right, now I understand you're a bit confused. Don't worry, just follow me. Just follow me, you'll be fine. Don't even worry about it. So we have our curve shape. It looks great. What we're going to do now is we actually want one segment of this curve shape. So we're going to head over to Insert, we're going to head over to Shapes, and then we're going to click on this rectangle. And I'm going to draw over the rectangle over here on the left side, as well as the right side, and finally in the middle. Oops, in the middle. Something like that. All right, so that way what I'm saying is, just to illustrate my point just a bit better, I'm going to make that white. I'm looking for that white shape, nothing more. I just want that white shape, right? But to do that, I have to use PowerPoint's merge shapes feature in order to extract it, right? So I'm going to click on all three rectangles, holding Control. I'm going to head over to Format. I'm going to head over to Merge Shapes, click on Union, right? And then I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the white shape. Then I'm going to click on the rectangle. I'm going to head over to Merge Shapes under the Format tab. And then I'm going to click on Subtract. And there we go. That's the shape we're looking for. Now we have our curved arrow. So what we can do now is add an arrowhead. I can go to Insert. I can go to Shapes. I can click on this triangle over here. And I can just draw out a small triangle that represents our arrowhead. I can rotate it to the right just a bit, just like this. And I can stick it at the top of the arrow base. I'm gonna change the shape fill to white, no outline. And I'm gonna rotate it slightly, just like this, so it matches the overall flow of the arrowhead. And I think that looks absolutely perfect. So we're going to highlight both the base of the arrow and the arrowhead, select them both together, go to Format, go to Merge Shapes, and then click on Union. That way it is just one customizable shape. And I think that looks great. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add an icon. Now I understand not a lot of you have the insert icons button, as you can see over here in your PowerPoint software. I also understand not a lot of you know how to bring in icons that are fully customizable and fully editable, where you can play around the outlines, play around the colors and whatever into your PowerPoint slides. Don't worry, Saika has you covered there. Just click on the info button where we have a post showing exactly how to bring in any icon you'd like into your PowerPoint slides. There's also a link in the description below. But just to save time, I'm just going to be bringing in this icon over here. Let me just change that to white and move it just over here. And I think we can actually make the outline just a bit thicker by going to Format, Outline, Weight Drop, and change that to around, I think 2¼ looks fine. Reduce the size of this just a bit, move it underneath, and then just rotate it ever so slightly to the right. And I think we have a winning first slide. Don't you? I think that looks great. Maybe we can actually just move this to the right a bit, you know, just to make space for that awesome smile. Perfect. There you go. There's the first slide completed. And we can also delete this. The second slide, the perks. All right, so I understand that Niket went for a different order than what I'm proposing here. He went for the struggles first, and then he went for the perks. Niket, you're a great guy, man. You deserve to be all about the perks first, and then you can finish it off with the struggles later, you know, just to give it that little funny edge. So what we're going to do is we're going to reorder that slide, and we're gonna make the perks go in first. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna move this image over here. And what I envisioned for this slide is something just a bit different than what Niket is proposing, right? He went with text all over the image over here from top to bottom, overcomes to Halloween, ENTJ, so on and so forth. And what I envision is something different. I am gonna include that text, right? It's gonna be something that people read, but it's all about you, Niket. It's all about Niket. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually put a good picture of Niket, right? And make sure that picture is the focus of attention on this slide. And we're gonna do it in a very creative way. We're gonna crop an image of Niket into a little shape that we can put in the corner of the slide. Now I know you're a little bit confused, just follow along and you'll be fine. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to head over to Insert, we're going to head over to Shapes, and then we're going to click on this shape right here, which is called Rectangle Round Corners. And we're going to draw it out like this. And we're going to rotate this so that, you know, one corner of this rectangle or square or whatever you want to call it is actually facing upwards. So in the middle, so something like this. All right, that's perfect. I'm actually going to move this yellow circle to the right just a bit so that we have a shape that looks like this. All right, perfect. And I'm just going to expand it like that. And then I'm just going to move it to the left like this. Now again, I know you're a bit confused, but don't worry, trust me. Okay, so this image over here is where Niket's photo is going to be. It's going to be cropped into that shape. I want to take this a step further. I want to include, right, a shape outline, not a normal outline where you go into Format, Shape Outline and change it. No, I'm talking about an outline that you can put into the image, right? It's a bit weird for me to explain, but let me show you what I mean. What we're going to do is we're actually gonna duplicate this. Actually, let's just make a copy of this because we need it later. So we're gonna ignore that for now. We're gonna duplicate this shape over here by pressing Control D, right? And then we're gonna reduce the size of the shape somewhat like this. And we're gonna actually stick it in the middle like that. Maybe I can just go a bit more. Yep, that looks fine. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to click on both of these guys over here. And I'm going to go to Format, Merge Shapes, Fragment. And I'm going to delete the middle component of that image. So then I'm going to bring in this guy over here again. And then I'm going to actually reduce the size of the little border that we made, just like that. Maybe just a bit more. No, I think... yeah, that looks perfect. All right, so we're gonna make this white. No outline. All right, so there we go. This is the image that we're actually going for now. So where you see the blue, we're going to crop in Niket's image, right? And the white is going to be there for an overlay effect. So let's put that into practice right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this slide and delete everything on it. And there's a reason why we did that. It's simply because this slide is going to enable us to sort of crop the picture and we can move it later. This slide already has the content that we need. So I'm just going to bring in this great picture of Niket over here. He's smiling, you know, dashing in his suit in front of a big wall, you know, ready to go, ready to take you on that date. So I'm going to go back to slide 2. I'm going to copy these 2 images that you see over here, and I'm going to bring it into this slide right over here. All right, now remember, everything that is blue will be cropped into the picture. So we need to make sure that this shape is positioned perfectly so that everything in it is known to be cropped into that picture, right? And to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on the blue shape over here, go to format, go to shape fill, go to more fill colors, and change the transparency to around 50% so we know exactly where we're positioning it, right? So I'm just going to position this shape right over here. I think that looks great. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to click on the brick wall picture. I'm going to click on the shape itself. I'm going to head over to format under drawing tools, not picture tools, but just drawing tools. And then I'm going to go to merge shapes, and then I'm going to click on intersect. And there we go. Doesn't that look fantastic? Doesn't that look amazing? So what we're going to do is we're going to just highlight everything and press on Control C to copy it. We're going to head over to the second slide and press on Control V to paste it. And we're just going to position it the exact same way we positioned our last 2 shapes right over there. When you're happy with that, I'm going to press on Control X, and I'm just going to move this to the right and press on Control V again later. And the reason why I moved it to the right is because we might need that shape again. So now we can add the text component. I'm going to head over to Insert, click on Text Box, just draw out a text box like this. And I'm going to type in the perks, change the font size to around 54 and change the font to Gotham Ultra. I'm going to move it to the right just like this. I'm just going to move that up here and move that over here. All right, cool. Now we can start adding the points that he puts over here. I reordered the points somewhat. You know, the first thing that I see here is a young man in a suit looking great. So I'm going to step up what he says over here, which is will do wonders for your IG game. I brought up to be the first point, so it relates to the picture. It's all about that flow of communication. I'm not going to type out everything. I've already typed it out. I'm just going to paste it over here. We're just going to format it somewhat. So I'm going to change the font size of this to 16. And I'm also going to shift it to the right. And you'll see why I do that in just a second. And I'm also going to change the font to Source Sans Pro, which is a great font that I like and I truly do recommend. I'm going to move that to the left a bit. I'm going to make sure everything is distributed evenly. We're going to arrange, align, and then distribute vertically. All right, perfect. So I actually want to reinforce the message here of why these are perks, right? And to do that, I think I'm going to need the help of an icon. I'm going to be using this icon right over here. I did not make this icon. All credit goes to FreePic. I've linked where you can find it in the YouTube description as well as the Slack cow post. I'm just going to decrease the size of this, and I'm going to actually add our theme to this icon. Do you remember this shape that we made? What we're going to do is we're going to duplicate it. We're going to make it black, and we're going to decrease the size just like that. And we're also going to move the heart inside. So we can just decrease the size of the heart as well. Just move it in the center, position it just right. I think that looks absolutely great. So we can highlight these guys and press on Control G to group it up. And we can move it over here and move it there. That way, they're not bullet points anymore, they're love points. So we're just gonna move it up just like this and make sure that everything is perfectly aligned. Yep, just like that. All right, cool. Now I can do this for every single one by holding Control Shift and just moving this same image downwards. Just make sure this is there, this is fine, this is aligned, this is also aligned. This is also aligned. This is also aligned. Perfect. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. And for the cherry on top, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to head over to Insert. I'm going to head over to Shapes. I'm going to draw out this line, hold Shift, draw out the line just like this. Go to Format, Shape, Outline, weight 6 points. gonna move it, maybe just make it a bit longer, just like that. And I'm gonna make it the same color as this little heart. And I think that looks absolutely fantastic. Now I just wanna align everything and make sure everything's perfectly positioned. So I'm just gonna press on Control G to group it up, move this to the left just a bit. I think the title is nice where it is. I'm also going to highlight the image over here, just blow it up just a bit. There we go. I think that looks really nice. Let's just move that up. There we go. Perfect. Move it maybe to the left. There we go. All right. That's what it looks like. How cool is that? Come on, Niket. I know you love it, buddy. I know you love it. That is the second slide completed. The third slide, the struggles. All right, guys, I really want to respect your time. This tutorial is over 20 minutes long as it is, so we're going to keep this segment short. If you've noticed on the third slide, I've already done it for you. I've used the exact same techniques as I've done in slide 2, only with 2 key differences, and I'm also going to teach you a very small key technique to really change everything in your deck so it flows amazingly. All right, so let's talk about the 2 key differences first. First of all, as you can see here, it's the picture. The picture isn't exactly my favorite, not necessarily because of Niket, don't get me wrong. It's simply because the quality of the picture in itself wasn't that good. I preferred something of much more higher quality. However, this picture in itself speaks volumes about the person, right? So there are going to be many times in the future where you're going to be designing presentations or PowerPoint decks, and you're going to have to be using a picture that isn't exactly to the quality standard that you wanted, right? It's not necessarily that bad. The reason why is because this picture in itself, for example, right, it speaks 1,000 words. It relates straight up to the first point here, which is competitive Street Fighter that we have over here, you know, and it's really funny and engaging, and it keeps that slide intact, right? It keeps everything perfect. The second thing is that I actually changed the icon from a heart to a heartbreak over here, which is really cool because you get to see the contrast between one side and the other, sort of like an angel and devil sort of thing. So it's really cool. I didn't make this icon, by the way. It was done by FreePick. Again, the link is in the description or in the SlideCow post. So what I want to teach you right now is a very quick technique to show you how we can shift, right, the design of the slide to match perfectly with the overall flow of the deck. Let me show you. I'm going to highlight everything. I'm going to press on Control G to group it up. Then I'm going to head over to Home. I'm going to go to Arrange, and I'm going to go to Rotate, and then I'm going to click on Flip Horizontal, right? Now, I know that you're looking at it and you're going, what are you talking about? This looks really bad. Don't worry, right? What we're going to do first is we're actually going to click on the title, and then we're going to click on Align Left right over here. And we're going to do the same thing for all of the text boxes that we have right over here. All right, now you can see this coming to life already. Let's just move this to where we aligned it, which was the little guide that we had before. And there we go. That way we have a perfect flow of communication from here to here to here. And I think it looks absolutely fantastic. And we're done with the tutorial. It was long, but it was worth it. I had a lot of fun doing this. Shout out to Niket. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for letting me do this, man. You are a fantastic, fantastic guy. I would love to meet you sometime. It'd be great. Maybe not so much for a Tinder date, but you know, we can go, you know, have a coffee or something and chill for a bit. I'd also like to thank the Reddit community, specifically the consulting subreddit, for finding the link to the article about Niket. And actually there's one guy in that subreddit called Praoi, P-R-A-O-I. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm sorry. Who actually encouraged me to go and seek this guy out and just make a tutorial on this. So that was really a lot of fun. Guys, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please also be sure to head over to slidecow.com and sign up to our mailing list. There's going to be something big coming soon. I promise you that. SlideCow is taking it to the next level. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.